When I read Clark Brody's book, I think I got a whole different perspective. You know, sometimes we get, and it's true today, we get the feeling that the only problems that we've ever had are today's problems. And probably age has something to do with it, but I get to be more and more of a history buff as time goes on. And you look back at what was going on out in the country during Brody's recollection, and that book came out, I believe, in '59. Those are things that we really don't even comprehend. Things that to us would seem so simple. For instance, we've just gone through several years of trying to increase funding for our infrastructure in the state, get more highway money. At that point in time, roads were financed by the people who lived on them. Their frontage, and that was the first tax, was a tax on you if you lived on the road. And people couldn't afford it. You know, they just simply couldn't, and it really wasn't much for roads. It was just trails. It's amazing what we've accomplished.
When you got old enough so that you could stay up and listen to them in the front room with the community group, boy, you really knew you had reached a great age, you know. And to see people that were farmers and friends and to start talking about issues and things, it seemed amazing because they weren't talking about the weather or that kind of thing. They were talking about different ideas. Lots of times I'd think I'd know the way they were going to say something, and no, they'd go a whole different way. And it just kept me curious about the whole thing. And of course, they always had great dessert at the end, so that made it a great incentive. And the community group was always interesting to me. And then, of course, every Christmas, the County Farm Bureau Board gave them a ham, and so we had a big dinner at somebody's place. And so it just seemed second nature always to be involved in Farm Bureau.
I knew Niall Vermillion. He was a young lawyer from St. Joe, Missouri. He came to Michigan in '48. They gave him 2 shoeboxes full of names of Farm Bureau members that wanted a Farm Bureau insurance program. 25 years later, he retired. He had built 4 multi-million-dollar insurance companies. He was a great man. And it's those kind of people that's made Michigan agriculture so much good, easy. I said, we haven't built a building of brick and mortar. We built a home of Michigan agriculture. I've seen many organizations come and go. Fair Share Movement, American Ag, and all those, they had one issue. And when that was passed, they were passed. The Farm Bureau has been concerned and interested in your home and mine, our community, our schools, and our church. That is so wonderful because we live a life affected by all these.
It's a grassroots organization, and one that's there's not many that can match it as far as its ability for its farmers to bring forth their ideas and make their organization what they want it to be. Yeah. And I sat there, at the 100th already dinner, and here I sat and look at a video, and there's my son-in-law singing the song Heartbeat of Michigan. And how many people can say that even your son-in-law is a County Farm Bureau president? And a lot of people would probably think that's great words, but if you get to know Grant, you know that he walks that walk and talks that talk, just wasn't song. So truly the Scramblins have been blessed by Farm Bureau, so is agriculture, and it has been truly the greatest thrill of my life.